welcome back to the channel. I know I've been out of it for a few months now, but you know, that's just how busy I get running an escape room. But I promised everyone on Twitter a video today, and by golly, I'm going to deliver. In fact, I had intended to do a movie review, but those plans have kind of changed. I'm still going to talk about a movie, but this will be my first ever response video to another furry. And, as you all will have seen from the title and thumbnail, it will be discussing YJ Wolf's video about how The Shining isn't scary anymore. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you all to like this video if you enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see more content, and hit the notification bell to know when I put out a new video. And go check out YJ Wolf's channel. I will be putting a link in the description below. First, let me start by saying I have nothing against YJ at all, and I consider his take on The Shining to be something more in the realm of, comedy more so than actual critique of the movie. But his video hit a light bulb in my head, so I'm going to give credit where credit is due. So let's dive right in.
Happy Halloween, everyone! And yes, I'm talking about Halloween in September because I'm seeing Halloween decorations at Menards in September. Why are we doing this, Menards?
Because Walmart already has Christmas decorations in September. That's why. Halloween can come out 1 month ahead if Christmas decorations can sit up for a third of the year. Anyway, moving right along.
And I would give you some good news if you ask me. Some very, very good news, you know? The Shining, one of the most scary films, formerly one of the most scariest films in the world, isn't that scary, to be honest.
Oh, YJ, how wrong you are. But you're in luck. I, Tarvesh, the horror furrer, am here to help you see how The Shining is actually more relevant and relatable than ever before.
It's actually quite funny.
No. No, it's not. It has some humor injected into it, yes, I will give you that. But, you know, the humor is just injected into it to help the audience better cope with the horrible things that are happening in the movie.
Don't believe me? Well, here's the clip from it, just to, you know, settle your nerves a little.
Now, before we begin, YJ picks a point in the movie where Jack Torrance is starting to mentally break. The isolation as well as the pressure of his workload and writer's block have been building up for weeks with no way to vent this stress. But let's roll the clip.
And are you concerned about me? Ever thought about my responsibilities?
Oh, Dick, what are you talking about?
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever...
Hold on. We have to address this little, you know, people were scared of this thing. Yes. Yes, they were. Hell, people are still disturbed by it, and they're living with, or lived with, this exact situation over the past few months. Think about it. He's been locked down in this building. He can't leave. He can't really do anything. He can only stay there and try to make the best of being isolated from society. He has no TV. He has no internet. No smartphone. No updates. All he has is a calendar to check off the days as they slowly tick by. This scene right here is Jack finding that his wife is snooping on the one bit of privacy he has in this entire limited world. And he is snapping mentally and venting his frustrations. He's a recovering alcoholic who has been locked away with a wife who resents him for hurting their son and has nothing to help him cope with his rising stress and the temptations that brings.
That unnerved you a bit, I apologize, but you know what? Let me kind of show you something else to try and maybe help to further calm your nerves a little bit, shall we?
How do you sleep at night? I'm taking this.
It's literally the same style of acting when you think about it. maybe a little bit different, but still. I mean, come on. Like, it's still the over-the-top loon type of character, and that's really not scary. That's hilarious.
No. No, it's not. In one scene, we have Nicholson, okay? He's portraying a man who is holding back his rage and trying to explain in short, sharp, verbal snaps after months of isolation, stress, frustration, and indignation among other emotional issues. He's portraying all of this in his delivery, his body language, and his facial expressions. And on the other hand, we have Jim Carrey, who is comedically portraying a man who's upset over a minor inconvenience and vents it by being petty and overt about it when he steals the air freshener. His wide-eyed, goofy expressions and movements and smile at the end, they help to sell the comedic nature of the over-exaggerated exasperation that he's going through, or that his character is going through. Also, Carrey actually yells at the other man, while Jack, his temper and rage are held in check and slowly build up to where he starts to raise his voice and then quickly lowers back to a very reeled in and much more menacing conversational tone, as we see here.
Please!
Stop swinging the bat.
Stay away!
Put the bat down, Wendy.
Stop it!
Wendy, give me the bat.
Please! Stay away!
Give me the bat.
Stop it!
Give me the bat.
Stay away!
Stop swinging the bat.
Please stop!
Give me the bat.
Stay away!
Wendy,
Stay!
give me the bat.
Yeah, just to hammer the point home, here's some more clips.
Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair on your chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
She's not Lois Einhorn. She's Ray Finkel. She's a man. Let's just see who's lying, shall we?
Okay, no. These two are in no way similar. Again, in the Shining clip, this is after Jack has completely snapped. Just, he's gone. His mind is gone, and he is doing his best to kill his family, and the reality of this atrocity that he's committing has overwhelmed him. He's injecting gallows humor into this situation by putting himself into the role of the big bad wolf. Wrong wolf. Anyway, he's also substituting his family as the little pigs. This takes a normally harmless, comfortable, and familiar children's story and turns it on its head by showing just how twisted Jack has become, but it also serves to foreshadow just how the story will end. Horror does this a lot, injecting something that is meant to be good, wholesome, or familiar from people's childhood into a situation where it takes on a new, depraved light. It's done on purpose in order to further disturb the viewer and make them think twice about that comfortable memory. In the Ace Ventura clip, Ace is actually outing a transgender person to a bunch of cops by insulting her and forcibly flashing her to a group of police in a motley display of over-the-top, exaggerated comedy. There is nothing similar about the acting, the scene, the performance, delivery, or setting. I think you're kind of reaching here, but you know what? Like I said, I think you're kind of doing it for comedic sakes, which it's fine. Good for you.
Well, I hope I've, ruined The Shining for you. Bye!
No. No, you didn't ruin The Shining for me. But maybe I can enhance it for you and allow you to think about it in a new light. People this year have been locked away in their homes. They think that because they can only communicate with people safely over the internet that this is true isolation. They've never experienced anything like this, so this is as close to isolation as they've ever gotten. But even with this sort of quasi-isolation, they're desperate for genuine interaction with other people. They need that social interaction to keep their hold on feeling motivated, alive, human. But Jack was 25 miles away from the closest people, and he and his family couldn't leave. They couldn't see anyone. They had no internet, newspaper to keep up with, or even TV to entertain themselves with. They had no mail, or even a healthy family unit to interact with. He was in a quarantine for months with none of the ways that we can communicate to help him cope. All he had was his work, his writer's block, an emotionally distant spouse, and a child who basically did everything around the hotel except interact with him. If you think about the lockdown and how it has affected people badly, just think of the toll it took on a man who was going through recovery from his anger issues and had gone cold turkey from his alcohol issues only a few months prior. This was a man who was already repressing a lot of issues, and then he went into 4 months of quarantine with nothing to help him cope with his problems. That's not just terrifying, it's reality as we know it right now. And it broke Jack Torrance. The Shining is a reflection of 2020, where being locked away for months at a time can cause people to become emotionally hair-triggered, frustrated, and angry. It's more relevant now than it was then, and that should horrify you. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I'd like to say one more time, I have nothing against YJ Wolf, and made this video as a fun way of not just addressing The Shining and pointing out its relevancy today, but also as a way to have a fun reaction video to another furry whose channel and videos I actually like. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you all have a great day, and as always, stay positive.